welcome to Freelancers Coffee Break Podcast. Um, Ali,
Mehmet?
I'm great.
yeah, and we're going to be talking about freelancing, but yeah, we're going to get more in the niches of photo retouching as well, and how Kate and Mehmet work closely behind the scenes. Because like I have a similar relationship with Doğukan, so I thought this would be a great episode. So yeah, Kate, welcome.
Thank you. I'm really honored to be there.
So let me introduce Kate a bit. So
Yes, please.
Kate
Yeah.
is, she's a photo retoucher, and also I've known her since 2019, I think, and she's been on Upwork for some time, and she's also the organizer of the huddles on Upwork.
In
So
Turkey.
she has an exclusive agreement, which is, I guess not worth it. I always tell her, Kate, it's not worth it. It's not worth the effort. But yeah, she just does it for the sake of all of us. Kate, can you introduce yourself? Like take 30 seconds, a minute. Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Mehmet, I'm
sure.
skipping you, but yeah, let's give it to her, and then Mehmet, you'll take over.
Sure.
I'm Kate. I've been on Upwork since 2016. I'm top-rated at the moment. I'm doing photography and photo retouching, but mostly photo retouching since COVID. Yeah, because it stole my mobility and I had to switch a little bit. At the moment, I moved to Istanbul in 2016. Also, I spent there 6 wonderful years. But about a year ago, I was pushed out due to the rate hikes, and I transformed myself into a digital nomad. That's what I'm doing over the last year. And a bit. And Ali, I disagree with you. You said it's not worth it, but if we didn't do that, how the hell would we all meet?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For the good of all of us, I said. So I appreciate you for that. But yeah, I was saying it's not worth the effort because I think the agreement that you told me that you had with Upwork was not something that, that really benefited you in any way, except the network. So that's you being smart, I guess. The network you get from, organizing everything and being on top of it, meeting new people. I think that's good, but still, there has to be, I guess, I don't know, like free connects, like something. They gotta give you something, right? But they did not, from what I know. But
They
that's
were
not our
given away
topic.
membership. They were given away membership, but it doesn't make much difference really. Getting that membership from Upwork, it's not as valuable as meeting all of you guys and building
Yeah.
social
Oh.
network.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason you did it,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, awesome.
Wait,
Where are you right now?
at the moment, I'm in Gokua. Before that, I was in Malaga for a month, enjoying Spanish winter. It's really close to Gibraltar. Before that, it was Madrid, and before Madrid, I spent a fantastic autumn near Bodrum. Before that, it was Malta, Switzerland, Crete, Cyprus, a bit of Istanbul, and a bit of Bodrum, just different side of it.
Well,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So,
No wonder we haven't had so many huddles lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the positive and negatives of being digital nomad, traveling all around? What's the
Well,
good, what's the bad?
there are a lot of good things, there are a lot of bad things, but it depends from which point of view you observe them. I would say good thing is being more organized, learning how to be more flexible. And as Einstein used to say, intelligence is an ability to change. So you have to learn how to change fast. You have to learn how to be flexible. Also, you see new fantastic places. You meet wonderful people. You have new experiences. These are good things. Plus, you don't have any rent contract to pay.
Mhm.
Also, you learn new
Yeah,
cultures. You
maybe
try
this
new
is
food.
this is
It's
something.
it's
This is
it's
something. Listen,
priceless.
hold up. This is something maybe we should So this is really important because like you're not paying any rent, so you have no rent expenses at all, and you're traveling and you're staying in these cool places.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe we can touch on that.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
yeah, but yeah, go on.
But there are
How
also,
yeah.
but there
Sorry,
are
sorry, you can.
also some issues, at least as long as I experience. Um, since since you have to travel with all your stuff, it's a bit of expensive. So I always have two suitcases. Plus, I have one more extra suitcase, which is still sitting in the booth with my
Wow,
out-of-season clothes and and it's a little bit hard. I'm trying to be minimalistic. I'm getting there little by little, but there are some areas of improvement.
I see. I see. Yeah, so there are upsides and there are downsides, of course,
Yeah.
like in everything else. Uh, uh, so yeah, uh, how is it going on Upwork? How has been, how has business been, at least?
Around Upwork, there are some ups and downs, and sometimes it's better, sometimes it's a little bit worse. For example, last couple of months, I was mostly busy working with my direct clients, so I can't really spend any kind of applying for new jobs. As I had a couple of big projects to work on, so I didn't really
So
need it much.
you haven't been applying lately.
No, not
No,
much.
no, not much. So, but that's because you have established something there. Uh, you have clients that are going on,
But it's
and
it's still not
mhm,
enough to cover my full workflow. But
mhm,
sometimes they come with big projects. Sometimes they don't come at all. Sometimes they just take a pause for a month or for a few weeks. So it's not regular.
I see. So yeah, let's go. Let's talk about these like jobs that you've been sending to each other, and this communication you have.
Kate, how did you first start freelancing, first of all, since you are in the job for a very long time?
Yeah, since 2016. Well, at some point when I quit my corporate career, I got
What were
sick
you
of
doing before?
I have been working in sales in different international companies like AC Johnson, Philips, and Miele.
Wow.
My last job was called BDSM, Business Development and Sales Manager.
Ah,
So it has nothing to do with freelancing, photo redaction, photography whatsoever.
so
And
you don't have a background, like you were not, so you educated yourself basically.
yes,
That's not your
photography
background,
was
but
my
yeah.
hobby, as well
Hmm.
as photo redaction. And at some point, I realized that I wasn't happy with the photographs I'm taking while visiting wonderful places. And I went for a photography course. I learned studio photography, natural light photography, portrait photography, still life photography. These were different offline courses taken in Kiev in one of the best photo studios in Kiev. And then I switched to photo redaction because I realized that I need to process the photos I'm taking somehow. So I enrolled myself a photo redaction course offline. I didn't quite like it. The photography courses were great. They were excellent. I absolutely loved them, and they definitely worth every penny spent. But photo redaction course wasn't so great, so I went online, and photo redaction is easier to learn online rather than photography. And I found a teacher who is wonderful, who is doing fantastic job in terms of photo redaction, and he is also, which is very important, good in teaching. He's based in United States, and I'm still buying small courses from him from
Yeah.
time to
Okay.
time just to improve my skills.
Okay, so I want to go back to where you said that like you didn't like photo retouching at all. Like the
I
photo
wasn't really
courses.
interested in it. I just had to learn
Mhm.
it in order to process my own photos. But
Do you
then
love it? Do you love it now?
yeah, I do.
You
I
do?
do. So
Okay.
basically, it was my hobby, both photography and photo redaction. But when I found myself out of job, I realized that I need to monetize one of my hobbies. And I was
Hmm.
moving at the same time. I wasn't relocating to Turkey, and I realized that I don't have anything. I don't have a job offer waiting for me. I don't have a supportive partner or friends or whatever. I just had zero. I started from zero. I found myself in a new country. I didn't know the language at all. I didn't have a work permit, so I had to survive somehow. I decided freelancing could be a good start, And instead of learning something new, maybe I can monetize something I already know and something I enjoy doing.
Yep. Amazing. Amazing story. Amazing story.
No.
That's like I guess like we just do things uh, and improve ourselves, doing things and, dedicate ourselves to things because when we think that our back is like, on a hill, uh, if you like take a step back, it's like, you'll fall. So you'll just have to like move forward. So that's great. And that's like right now what you're doing is again something like that in a way, because you're in a way, you're just traveling, seeing all these places, doing your work while traveling, and just staying where you go for free. So let's talk about that because people should be, curious by now about how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you make it free?
Yeah, let's
well,
go.
it's not exactly free, but it's a kind of exchange. The website I'm using it's called Plastic House Seekers. Think about Airbnb, yeah? But
Mhm.
instead of paying for your accommodation, you're doing a little favor in return.
Yeah. What is
Like
that?
looking after the pets.
Mhm.
If you love pets, it's not a
Why
problem
not?
for you.
Yeah.
I love dogs, I absolutely adore the dogs. And at the time, my lifestyle won't allow me to have a dog because I travel all the time. I don't have a base. I don't have a stable home. I don't have stable anything in my life. So
Yep. So you're
instead
like,
of
hey,
having my own
so
pets, I
when you
spend
go to
time
a
with
house,
someone else's
yeah.
pets.
So when you go to a house, you're like, hey, friend. So we're gonna be spending this month with you, huh? So that's
Yeah,
like then you build this relationship with, and oh my God. So then, do you feel sad when they leave?
sometimes you do. Yeah, sometimes you do.
You do.
And you also establish a long-term relationship. Like, for example, 2 years ago, I was invited to go to Switzerland. I stayed in Rome for a month and a half. Next year, the same lady invited me again. I went there with pleasure. And now she texted me. She said, hey, I just booked my tickets. We're flying to California. Will you come over for a month and a half? And I just said yes to
You're
her.
like, of course, baby.
Mm.
Just for you, I will come. Yeah, because that place I remember, uh, you showed us, and it was beautiful, right?
The place is fantastic. It's a wonderful townhouse right in the center of the city, in walking distance to all the embassies. So when I'm walking the dog, I'm passing by at least 6, 7 embassies. It's just next to the
Amazing,
house.
amazing, amazing.
And think
Yeah,
about Airbnb. I mean, if you decide to go to Switzerland and rent a luxury townhouse for a month and a half, what would your bank account say about that?
yeah. Would say a
Mm-hmm.
lot. That's why me
Yeah.
and Mehmet are staying here and not going to Switzerland, right,
Yeah.
Mehmet? Ah, maybe you go, Mehmet,
We,
but
we,
I don't. I
nah,
don't.
nah.
No,
We
no.
we have. I have family.
Yeah.
It's way past me. I say with traveling,
No, no,
but
no. But you could be really rich and still go. So you're not really rich like me.
no. I'm
Yeah.
not
No.
really rich. No.
That's
Not enough
sad.
to stay in Switzerland for 6 weeks.
Mehmet, listen. You do cuts, okay? You do not cut these jokes, okay? Let them stay. Let my terrible jokes stay. Okay?
Okay.
You're mean. He makes cuts. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, I think this is great. So we'll link the website for sure. But let's talk about the freelancing part and uh, photo retouching maybe. So you have this relationship Mehmet and you have this relationship where you are, you know, Mehmet is sending you a job, and you're looking at it because like it's something. I have this communication with Doğukan, so when it's something I can do, but maybe he has more time, I think, or it's something he could do as well. Maybe I don't need it, then I pass it on.
Mm.
So I have been actually referring him. So that's
Yeah.
been really helpful. Referrals are really, really helpful. So how do you do it?
For me, I know Kate does very good job, and she also works in volume, which I am not able to do it. Also, I'm not that much interested in fashion and portraiture. There are subjects that I don't take. If I take, for example, the latest photographer that I work with her, but when it's a complicated image. But in the last project, she wanted volume retouching for dancers and so on, which didn't interest me, not from the budget wise or volume wise, but I know that Kate would be able to deliver the quality with high volume. Then I just recommended them. I know this person who can deliver you what you want, and I also informed Kate if she would be interested. Then passed it. Also, we previously I had a connection from Turkey bridal wear company. Again, the same thing. We did some projects for them which were in low in numbers, but when they needed a high volume retouch, again, this is out of my scope, then it's best to recommend someone whom you know that, first of all, there are some advantages. If you know someone and you pass it, still the client is within your reach, I would say. You wouldn't lose
Yeah.
the client. And also, the client will be happy because finding a good freelancer is not easy. As you have to sometimes do a lot of trials. They wouldn't fit into your perspective or quality level. And if someone recommends you, it's the type of business, how things work mainly in this industry. Someone recommends you, it also eases their life, I think.
Yeah, it does. Recommendations go a long way. I think so.
Yeah.
Especially when the recommendation is coming from someone experienced, knowledgeable, and expensive like Nomad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
priceless.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally. Yeah, so that's like because when he's like expensive, then your rate, you have more space, with your negotiations. Yeah, it's a win-win for sure, for sure. Yeah. How about Kate? Like, how about like content? Do you ever like consider creating content for
What kind
social? Like,
of?
how are you like, how are you gonna adapt to all these changes with AI, and how are you adapting? That's my question.
I
Are
love the
you
new
using any
version of
tools?
Photoshop. And I
Hmm?
love using AI. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's rather controversial, sometimes it's entertaining. I
Hmm.
I try delegating little tasks, like for example, you won't delegate retouching human face to
Mhm.
artificial intelligence because the outcome will be rather ugly. Yeah.
So AI
Mhm.
does
It's
that.
nothing like
It does
realistic or whatever.
retouching. It does that. You can
Well,
retouch
it's
with
when it
AI.
comes to attention to the detail and keeping it human and keeping it realistic, I'm not quite sure like it's job, but it's priceless if, for example, you want to clear certain things from the background. Like, for example, the chair behind your back or something like that. It does a decent job, actually, and it can save the time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you know
So
how to do it and if you know when and how to use it.
I say, yeah. Uh, yeah. AI is like on the audio part. It's also going crazy now. 11 Labs is releasing this beta version of um, So you will just say, hey, give me keyboard typing sounds. Someone typing for like 30 seconds. And then it just generates it, the
Whoa.
audio. Yeah. So, and have you seen the new um, ChatGPT's new video engine?
No, not
The,
yet.
this Sora thing you're
Sora.
talking about.
Yeah, Sora. No,
I
you
will check it
haven't?
out.
Oh,
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's interesting, but personally, when I see all these things, okay, they'll probably change things, but I don't personally think they'll change too much. You'll be using it as a tool, but for example, everyone is talking about Sora or Midjourney, or they are all tools, just
Yeah.
easing your life. They won't just make a new advertisement movie out of nothing. You'll still be working on it. Someone will do
exactly.
something, and
But it's
yeah,
perfect for someone like me, or for some like. That's why I asked if you're creating any content, or if you want to create any content, because it's like what gets you a lot. It's just works. Uh, so when I look at Sora, or like for example Midjourney, I used it a lot for my podcast. Like, it's the freedom of getting all these designs for free, almost. So Sora is like that. But like you said, it's great for people like us who are
mhm,
creatives, because yeah, it just makes life easier, and it just
exactly.
broadens what you can do with a
So
low
I'm not
budget.
worried
Yeah,
about, or Kate shouldn't be worried about, oh, AI is taking jobs. It'll just ease and change the jobs, but
Yeah.
jobs will be there anyways.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Kate, what's your plan for the future? How long do you plan to keep on digital nomading, I would say?
I don't know yet. Probably
Huh?
for another half a year at least, and then I will
Mm,
reconsider. I came to the point when I don't do long-term planning. Because every
mm,
time I plan something long term, something happens in life. There are some changes. There are some unforeseen circumstances that totally destroy my plans.
uh-huh.
They're no longer applicable, so I have to plan something different. Like you plan something and you do calculation how much passive income you're gonna get, and then the war starts, for example.
Mm,
Yeah.
When the war started, I lost both of my properties. I worked really hard to buy, and
Yeah.
it was unforeseen, So you can't really know what's gonna happen. What I do is, I look at the circumstances from different points of view and choose the best options available, the best options suitable for myself. That's what I do. For now, I enjoy living like that. Probably another few
mhm,
months, I will also carry on. And what happens next? I will stop and reconsider. Maybe the prices for real estate will normalize a little bit in Istanbul because it was a total spawn. You know that better than I do.
mm,
Yeah.
Besides,
It's a
I was
bubble.
facing kind of
Bubble.
harassment, from local landlords when they see foreigners, starting from about like a year and a half ago. They won't speak to you like if someone local. They will go like, okay, so you're a foreigner. Are you paying 1 year in advance or 6 months in advance? Not the rules really. What if anything happens? What if earthquake happen? And the building says this who's gonna give me the money back?
mm.
What if
Yeah.
consent commission comes, who's gonna give me the money back?
Yeah. So
No,
this is
thank
something
you.
that you encountered a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned passive income. What kind of passive income you have, or you had?
I did have it, but it's no longer applicable. Unfortunately, I was helping people. What's the best way of putting it? To finalize some financial issues.
So you were
Mm,
advising.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. So you are quite prominent with Bitcoin. I know. Yeah, you've been in it for some time, and yeah. So Mehmet, for example, he really doesn't. He's not really
nah.
interested. For example, I see this. one of my clients has been paying me in Bitcoin, and if I
Yeah.
kept it, I would just have a lot of money right now. Uh, but yeah, still, it's still Mehmet. For example, for me, it's a great way because it's easy too.
It's
So
digital gold.
yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's the best way to say it. Yeah.
Also, besides Bitcoin, you've got stable coins. If you're not quite sure if the price will go up or down, if you're worried about all this price variation, you can go for USDT, for example, which is a digital version of American dollar. And it always
Yeah,
stays the same.
and that's like supported by the government of United States.
No.
No,
No.
it's not. It's not.
So that's like the issue, when it's not like connected to any government or any entity, people are afraid of, the independence this
I
brings. So
Ali,
yeah,
we
so
live in a country where we have Turkish lira as a currency.
listen, I personally have been editing a podcast of a financial advisor called Isaiah Douglas, who does financial advising for veterinarians.
Yeah.
And this guy is a big supporter of Bitcoin, but he's a supporter of only Bitcoin and only Bitcoin. And yeah, he's always saying it's something that like don't want to, I'm not an expert, but it's just like something you buy and hold because there's no
Yeah,
chance that you're gonna lose any money when it's Bitcoin.
absolutely.
Not Ethereum,
It's
not
something for
yeah,
like long-term investments only. If you have some money which you might be using next month, which you might need after a couple of months, I would say it's better to keep it in USDT because you don't know where you're gonna need it and how much you're gonna sell it for. But if you have some money which you're not gonna need within next year or whatever, then you can safely put it into Bitcoin. And that's something else. Talking about currencies and central banks, do your own research before you make your conclusion because most of the banks are in debt and they're becoming bankrupts one after another all over the world. And this is one point. And next point is talking about American dollar. It used to be backed by gold until 1970s. Starting from 1970s, President, who was it?
yeah. So then they started doing like only paper.
Yeah, so starting
Yeah,
from 1970s, Richard
Nixon.
Nixon brought this link, and it's not backed by anything. It used to be backed by oil because they had agreement with Arabic countries that all the oil should be sold in American dollars, but not anymore. So now it's
yeah,
not backed by gold, it's not backed by oil. It's also just a piece of paper to let you
yeah,
know.
yeah. It is true. Bitcoin is the future, if you like it or not. It's true that like I truly believe that, but for me, it's yeah, it's just something like American dollar or gold. So yeah, like for example, I would not want to invest in dollars, but I would
Yeah,
invest in gold. Uh, but also, Mehmet, for example, you prefer different things in terms of investing. So you do some bonds and stocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stocks. Yeah, exactly. For both in Turkey and outside of Turkey. One is, in fact, the idea is given to me by Kate. That what was the name of the company that
international
interact?
brokers.
Yes, that
Yeah,
was. That's it.
so it is working
But
for you.
yeah. I every month I put $200 or so
Yeah.
and just buy a stock that I believe in and continue on.
How do you choose what
Okay.
to buy?
Do you get
I
risky? Do you get risky with it?
I don't think I'm getting risky. I check the how they perform, but I buy stocks usually because I spare $200, it's just only one stock or
Yeah.
partial stock, you know. And if I'm using Apple, I buy Apple. Then I say, okay, I use today. I started using Google a lot, and then I buy a Google stock, and it goes on like this. I buy Tesla. I see a lot of Tesla cars in the street. I look at it. Okay, this may do well. I buy it. And because I buy a lot of different things in, you know, and it's always technology related things that I use or see, then sometimes they, of course, drop a bit, but overall they usually go up all the time.
Are you aware of SOP 500? What they do
Yeah,
is
I'm not.
they do this mix and match. They do a lot of companies,
Yeah.
mix them together, and if one of them fails, it doesn't matter. Another 499 will survive and make some profit. Did you go for them or not really?
Yeah. That's also an option. No, I just buy one stock at a time. Just
That's all.
decide. For example, a couple of months ago, I had bought Nvidia, the
But let's talk
you know
about your wins.
GPU.
Like, how much did you make? Like, good. For example, is there like a stock that you bought and it's a lot more than $200, or like maybe smaller than it was $50 the stock and now it's like $200? Is there anything like that?
I had bought this Nvidia was like that. It doubled in terms of price. I wished I had invested all my money to Nvidia.
NVIDIA, you mean this graphics card?
Graphic cards, because
Oh.
they moved into AI processors, and suddenly their stock jumped in 3 months, double price.
Oh my God. So for
Yeah.
example, that's like what's important in the stocks. Like when you know there's like a technological change, which is like AI being implemented to a graphic card, then you know if you get this news early, then you can like go and just buy it.
Yeah,
So
of
you'll
course,
make
but we won't ever receive such news. You just do it with your guts, or
Yeah.
I don't put all my savings there. I just put a little bit every month. That's how I work. But if I had put all my savings to Nvidia, I would have kind of tripled my savings.
Wow.
Wow.
That's probably a lot of money.
Yeah, but I only have one stock
You
of
could go
Nvidia.
to
Just
you could go to Switzerland then, Mehmet, with
Are
your
they
Yes, I
paying
could
family.
any
have.
dividends?
Yes, they are paying. For example, I'm automatically receiving notifications. I have Starbucks, and they just gave me 23 cents, something like that.
You're rich now.
Yeah, but because you have one stock, one stock is
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah,
People
sure.
are having, serious. Then it would be, of course, be more profitable. But it's okay. It's just a side hustle kind of thing. I just do it as a side investment. I also invest in Turkish markets a little bit.
What is interest?
For that, I'm not buying stocks. I'm just buying funds,
Yeah.
because Turkish market is very volatile. I am not able to track all stocks daily and so on. So I buy funds for the Turkish market, just like a group of stocks, and they invest, and I just buy a share from that fund. For me, it's much easier that way.
How much is a share, for example?
It depends on the fund that you invest in. It can be like 5 liras to even 500 liras per share. Depends on the
Okay.
fund you are investing in.
Okay. 500 liras is good.
Not too
But
bad. Well,
it's you are buying a share from the fund. So they have, let's say, Koç Holding, other stocks, and even some gold, some foreign exchange, euro bonds, and so on. They have a collection of different percentages of different things, and they make a fund out of it, and you buy a share out of that fund.
I
Yeah.
see. I always thought that funds were where, you know, people put money in.
No, it's a share.
Yeah.
You put money in and you buy a share out of it. If that value of that fund increases, your share price is increased and you can just sell it, but it's not as fast as like a stock. For example, you can sell the stock that day and they'll just send you the amount the next day. For the funds, it takes longer. It takes 2 or 3 days for you to sell and get your money.
How
Okay.
do you buy them? Where do you buy them from? Which platform are you using?
Any online bank has that kind of, you just have to say, I approve, and they'll let you buy.
You just gave me an idea because I haven't bought anything in Turkey yet, and I have the same criteria as you. I have to like the company, I have to love the company, I have to believe in them. So probably I will go and buy something from Turkish Airlines. I love them so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Ali, shall we wrap?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. But yeah, listen. I think we should have Kate for another episode.
I love
Maybe
to.
maybe in a couple of months, maybe in a month, maybe in a week. You never know. But yeah, I think Kate would add some value because she is awesome. Thank you, Kate, for joining us. And
Thank you, gentlemen. You're so
Yeah.
charismatic.
Thanks
I'll
a
love
lot.
to join
thank
again.
you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. See ya.
Bye. Take care.